I'm going to try to record this again. Jesus Christ, I'm going to curse. I'm going to lose my mind. Before we begin, Sean from Middle Grounded. I love woke on woke crime, especially when it involves Disney and Netflix. This time, Netflix. Netflix decided they wanted to pull out the old virtue signal and shoot it up into the sky. Look at all the diversity hires. Look at all the inclusion and representation. We hired all these people, and 2 months later, after giving them promotions, there's no possible way every single one of them could have earned in 2 months. Maybe they did, maybe not. But they made a big deal out of it when they gave them the promotion. They had to lay these people off. Now, do you think the personnel they had to lay off, A, were grateful for the time they spent there and the promotion and the 2-week severance pay, or B, went to social media, went to the media, played the victim, claimed racism, bigotry, sexism, misogyny? If you said B, you are correct. Woke on woke crime. It does the heart good. It does the heart good. And now, to the show with potentially the worst fucking timing in fantasy show history. Oh, Jesus Christ. Game of Thrones, House of Dragons. Woke is crumbling, or at least it's cracking, and it's falling everywhere with the disaster that is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That's a whole nother thing. I made a video on it, but I'm going to go into depth more because the more I think about it, the more it makes me angry. You know, you got a bad taste from season 8, so you're already coming into this and you're thinking, they better knock it out of the park. And then you see the fucking trailer, and it's the same old story. Girl who's key to everything. Men bad, white men bad, men effective, women are oppressed. They would make better leaders, but we just have to play this game. It's blatantly obvious what's going to happen. It's like they took, what do we do? Shit, I don't know. The last series, well, it was popular because they recreated a lot of the shots. Of course, the little pale, whoever it is, I don't even know the character's name. I don't even care. But the Daenerys wannabe, they've got her looking like Daenerys. And she's going to be the, like I said, the key to everything. Like Daenerys was the Targaryen who was, you know, Misa or whatever, the white savior, or whatever the media went ballistic on. There's another shot where at the very end of this fucking trailer, one of the Targaryens goes underground and he's got a torch and he can't see anything. And then you hear the dragon, rah! And a PS4 dragon comes out, and it's mirroring when Tyrion went into the underground. I think it was season 5. To be honest with you, I can't even remember, because after season 8 I just shut that fucking show out. I mean, season 8, Daenerys didn't get plowed and she went crazy for it. So somebody better plow this little girl who's the key to everything. I'm guessing that she's probably like 18 in the show, but she looks to be like 22, 23 year old actress. But anyway, neither here nor there. I just know that when a Targaryen doesn't have sex, the world is in deep trouble. The biggest problem I saw is that these actors and actresses didn't have any gravitas. They didn't have any screen presence. I'm looking at the screen and I felt like I was watching Star Trek Discovery. Now, the black man with the blonde hair looks like he could be a cool character, but I felt like I was watching Star Trek Discovery or a CW show. The costumes are terrible. It's like someone said, what do you think we could make? I don't know, go find a bad comic book from the last 10 years. Yeah, pull those costumes out. We're good. But none of them had any screen presence, like I said, and the costumes were subpar. They were fucking terrible. My fucking head hurts from having to talk about this bullshit. This is going to be a bunch of modern day intersectional bullshit, feminism, and it's going to be about racism. You can see it coming. Now one thing they did not do that you need to be aware of, they hid a lot of the diversity, representation, and inclusion tokenizations. They showed some, blink and you'll miss them, but there are a lot more than you think. As long as the story's good and they don't focus on their skin color, I'm okay. I may give this a try, I don't know yet. I may let Gary from Neurotic watch this shit because I'll probably have an aneurysm about halfway fucking through. But they need to stay away from this woke garbage. Game of Lord of them Rings, rings of power. They're gonna take it and they're gonna just run with this woke garbage because it's gonna be a disaster. And I've got a bad feeling that this is too. They think, well, let's put some boobs and dragons in it. Now, what really scares me about these modern day fantasies is they're so terrified, which they shouldn't be anymore. They shouldn't be terrified of the woke lynch mobs. They can't control everything. When Twitter started getting, the hammer put down on it, when Twitter started getting the squeeze, the rest of us who've been watching Game of Thrones up until about season 5, season 6, most of the normies came in at the end of season 6, about season 7 and 8, I think. That's when I started hearing people I normally didn't hear talk about it start to talk about it, because it became the cool thing to do. And then the woke people came in. Now the woke people, those are the ones that complained about everything. They didn't like the sex scenes. They didn't like the way women were treated. They didn't like the way women were treated on this side. They didn't like anything. And Game of Thrones bowed down, and that is why Arya Stark jumped the Night Shark when she killed the Night King. For fuck's sake, man, how do you screw that up? Season 8 was a train wreck. I was watching and going, I can't believe what I'm fucking watching. And I know I'm talking about the original Game of Thrones, but you can't help it because they know coming into this show they've got to stick the landing, because if they don't, all of us who are burned, I can't even go back and watch the fucking show anymore because I know where it ends up. I know where we're going. And I know that I don't want to spend 7 seasons waiting for the epic showdown between Jon Snow and the Night King, only for it not to happen. And for Daenerys to go crazy for nothing, Varys to get burnt alive, the smartest man, Littlefinger smartest, Tyrion smartest, all of them treated like moronic men. And then to see a bunch of retarded men sitting on a council made up of mostly women at the end, that's not the image, with a handicapped dude who is basically a vegetable most of the time, sitting on the Iron Throne, and Jon going to the north for no reason. You can't leave me with that and then jump into the House of the Dragon and make me think, we got goodwill going in here. It's going to be fucking great. It's not going to be a shit show. I assure you, this is going to be amazing. I'm rambling again, damn it, but there's a reason. When we hit the ground, it has to be running. We have to be going full speed ahead. We can't be looking left. We can't be looking right. We got to be looking down the road, and they got to be tight, and they've got to tell a good story. And I'm not sure they can do that from what I've seen. I don't like the CGI. I don't. I think the dragons look like garbage from what we've seen. Could be wrong. But Gary from Nerdrotic, he made a really good point. George isn't that involved anymore. However, George wants to be involved more because he kind of, he can say, oh, I'm working in Hollywood. I don't have to write the books. I don't personally know exactly. And I'll tell you why I'm saying this. If you don't watch pro wrestling, I'll make it clear. There's a writer, not a good writer, but I know Vince Russo. He single-handedly killed one wrestling company. He was hired behind the scenes to write, and it accidentally got leaked out, and they got taken off of a TV show. And then he screwed up another TV deal. Nobody wanted anything to do with him. But he knew the TV process. He knew how to write a TV show. May not have been good, but he knew how to do it, which is why I think they kept Dan and Dave. What I'm saying is, I don't know if George is behind the scenes like this. I don't know if he's in the background. I don't know if he's in the forefront. Quite honestly, I haven't even read. But I kind of get the feeling that this is great. George is going to come out and go, you're right. Well, thank you very much. I've been working behind the scenes very hard. But if it's terrible, well, maybe I should have had, however he talks that voice, well, maybe I should have had my finger on it a little bit more, but I still think it turned out okay. You like all the woke crap that's in there? You like all the intersectional feminism and everything else? Good, because that's all you're going to get. It's not a long teaser trailer, but you saw what it was. Whammon. It's always whammon nowadays. It's getting old. And this thing's coming out, like I said, at the end of the woke culture wars. We haven't won yet, but we are winning. And free speech is scaring people to death. And hopefully, a lot of them rangs, and God, I hope not, but House of the Dragon, who, with its miscasting of several characters, I hope this serves as a warning for future fantasy shows. Don't fucking give us intersectional woke garbage. Give us a good story. Cast the right people. Don't cast them for their skin color, sexuality, or gender, because you know the Rainbow Express is going to be in your face in this fucking show. Nobody cared in Game of Thrones because the Viper, Prince Oberyn, he was amazing. He was bi. I didn't give a shit. I loved his character. I loved how reckless he was and how cool, but he was also smart, you know. There were Renly, can't even remember. This is how long it's been. But the king, he was a Baratheon. I think it was, you know, a shadow in the shape of Stannis Baratheon, whatever, that guy, Renfrey or Renly, whatever his name is. Don't give a shit. The point I'm making is, he was gay and nobody cared. Nobody cared. But in this show, it's going to be highlighted. And it's going to be in your face. So just be ready. And I hope it's a lesson. I hope it's good. God, I hope it's good. But fuck this show, man. Fuck these writers. I can't... I'm black pill when I come into these shows anymore. I have a headache because I've been thinking about this shit and what I was going to say. So I decided to ramble. Because I have my points written down, but the more I think about it, the angrier I get. But I think this show is going to be woke. It's going to be garbage. I would love to know what you guys think. Please don't go see Doctor Strange 2. On a side note, don't give him your money. I love you guys. Like, subscribe, and share. And I promise to fucking God I will go mental and non-PG more times in the future. I love you guys.